for joining to our this week episode of Marketing Hacks with my good friend Ray Torres from Onset Media. You guys know Ray, he's the marketing guru here for me. So Ray, how are you? How you doing?
Hey brother, how are you doing today, man?
Yeah, everything is good, brother. I got a very nice question because I was confused on the. I don't do blog much, I do sometimes, but I do vlog,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
transcribe the. But again, it's a blog also, So my question is like when I'm writing a blog or vlog, am I writing, like for my like targeting my client, or I'm writing to impress Google or Bing or Yahoo, so search engine, and they can pick that up and put in front of my client. So which one is more important? And I'm confused about that. So tell me your, your suggestion, your advice, your opinion on that.
So to answer to which one is more important when you're writing a blog, you're writing for the search engines or for people, right? On the most part, that's what it sounds like.
Correct. Correct. Yeah.
So I'll tell you that one of the biggest mistakes a lot of people do because they don't normally write articles, right? Unless you're in school. So what they normally do is they try to kind of watch a video and they say, let me try writing this thing. Let me try this whole process. And then they write something, but they don't write nothing that they really mean or that they know about because they're trying to make sure just to get ranked, right? So, and I've seen that time and time again. So I tell you one thing, whenever you're writing a blog, first and foremost, you have to write for a person. You're not writing for a robot. So there's certain drafts of what you're trying to achieve that you're gonna put together, right? Like anything else, when you ride a bike, you're gonna ride a bike slowly until you go faster, right? Same thing goes with the blogs. When you write it, you have your first draft. And your first draft you have written out maybe about 600 words, so it's just like a great blog about, let's say, real estate, about this territory and why this territory is so great, all those things, right? So again, so once you have that written, okay, now you put that to the side, you look at it, right? Now you got to make sure you have a title. That title, when it comes to the search engine, because now that we wrote it for a human being, we have to just make adjustments to make sure that it's correct for the search engines. Again, and this is all the search engines, not just Google, right? This is all of them. The same rules apply. Even Google My Business postings. You always have a title. A title is very imperative to ensure the fact that that's labeled correctly in the intent when someone does a search. So if someone does a search for X, Y, and Z, that title that you're trying to, kind of win upon, the answer, will be in your article. So that's number one. That will be considered your H1 tag. So again, when we say H1 tag, that's like me telling you, hey man, you need to have a title, right? Yeah. Again, so the Google robots or the robots need to see an H1 tag. Again, and when you have it, which is HTML, a code in HTML. So when you have the H1 tag, now it's telling the Google bots, what is this article about? Okay, so that's number one. Okay. And then when you go through your article, now you have your title, you're good. Then when you're going down, sometimes people have subheadings or subheadlines within the articles themselves. That's also going to be labeled H2. So again, so H1, H2 are very imperative tags within your blog or your whatever you're doing to ensure the fact that it gets better opportunity to rank. And again, so you must be saying, well, how do I know what H1, H2, like, how do I know how to do that? Well, if you're writing on Squarespace, Wix, any of the search engines, any of the websites out there, any of those CMSs, 9 out of 10 times or 10 out of 10 times, it gives you a place where you can add that article in there. And then you have to kind of label those words specifically on as a paragraph, H4, H3, H2, and you'll see that. Now that I said it, if you look for it, you'll see it. So now you have to categorize that to a specific, format. H1 is the title, H2 are the subheadings, again, and then from there, you're kind of writing your article, and then pretty much that's how we write a blog for the search engines. One trick that people do not do, and they fail to do that, always remind the Google bots, right? Remind the robots what area you're servicing. Because you may think it's obvious to you, but every time there's a robot coming to your website, they don't know who you are. That's why you're putting all that information on there. So it's imperative you do that on an ongoing basis. One thing I'm gonna tell you or warn you is to not overstuff it. People have this thing that, okay, if I put 25 words of the best words, it's gonna rank. On the contrary, it may derank because now they're seeing you're stuffing keywords. It's not making any sense because you're trying to add that word, and because of that, if you're not giving the user the best article of what they're trying to find, you will not show up on any rankings at all.
Oh, I'm going to stop you right here. So that's very important. You just mentioned that do not overstuff with different keyword, because rather keep it clean and more directive.
Yeah.
So, for example, if I am, we're doing marketing hacks here, and our key tag will be with the marketing, but even though it's a real estate related, but it's better not to put real estate in Pembroke Pines, real estate in Fort Lauderdale. That's gonna kind of make it confused.
Yeah, so I realized that those robots are going to come and says, okay, so real estate here, real estate there, so on. So you're not talking about hashtags. You're actually writing that in context.
Yes.
You're saying, okay, so where am I hitting? Where am I going? Okay, so this is for Pembroke Pines, great. Oh wait, no. This is for Miramar. Oh no, wait. This is for again. You want to be general, you want to be broad. I always say the best results go specific. Okay. You say Pembroke Pines, it knows that the computer knows, especially Google Maps, right? That Miramar is right next to Pembroke Pines, right? Yeah. So again, who's your market? Whatever your article is about, South Florida, the city that you're trying to rank for, whatever have you,
county,
within that area. Mm-hmm. Do not go above that. So on. That's just my suggestion, and that's what's worked for me and a lot of my clients when we're optimizing some of their listings as well as they're writing some blogs to help them rank their website.
Now, let me ask you that H2, the one you say subheading, is that the same thing as meta tag or is different?
Yeah, so you have so in other words, there is a meta tag in the description. So whenever you're writing your blog or your article, you have an opportunity of when somebody does a search of seeing that description. That's a meta description. Okay. So within the meta description, yes, you have the meta tags within it to help it rank and get better results with SEO. So again, the reason why I don't use those words, Sean, is because people are like, oh my goodness, what is that? So on. So I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible. So if you think about it as a human being, don't think meta tags, don't think title descriptions, don't think that. Think about writing a great article, putting information on there. Now that when you go and you take that article, you put it on your website, your WordPress website, your Wix website, whatever it is, whatever website, you take that information and it's going to give you the option of how do you want to label this article as this or that. So again, those meta descriptions and meta tags are extremely imperative for you to do. So yes, the answer is yes of what we're referring to. But again, just keep it simple, right? Always write for the human being. And then when you put it into your platform, now you're going to structure it so it's kind of based correctly for the search engines.
Yeah, make it like a search engine friendly.
Yes, because if you take a blog, just write it and just put it on there, you really should not expect anything. And again, let me tell you, the question is, well, how do I check it to see if it's working or not? Well, this is something we talked about a long time ago. It's called Google Analytics. Okay, because if you see your site ranking more because of it, that's great. Because normally when you write a blog, you have something called backlinks in it. Backlinks for contact us or for another article or whatever have you, so on. Again, those backlinks give it more power, ranking power if they're good backlinks. So these are things that you want to do. And now to know that it works is that, well, don't wait for those phone calls to come in. Look at your Google Analytics to see that if you're getting any more traffic. If you are getting more traffic, which 9 out of 10 times you are, right? If you do it the way I'm saying, now you write another article, very similar. Not exact, very similar with the same techniques. And this is where you join the world of, guess what? I got a call today. Because you're taking those actions. The more work you put into it, the more you will get out of it. 1,000%.
Bro, great information, So again, I just wanted to recap, in 2 lines that always write for the client, for the audience, but then whatever the technicalities they just say, follow those technicality to make it search engine friendly. So that's the way the the robot, the what I think you mentioned the spider, the Google spider or something.
The spiders, right? Yeah.
when they crawl on that, they feel comfortable to show it to more people.
So just remember, one thing that you have to keep in mind is that Google bot, right? That spider is really ever the same spider going back to your site. Okay, because once your site is indexed, they're going to go back and see, okay, what's going on now? Let's go back in there and say, hey, what's happening? And they will crawl your site on a regular basis. But again, that's why it's imperative that you're always making a change. If you think, or if you've been told, have a website, leave it alone, don't touch it, and you'll be fine, then someone has lied to you, because that's not the way it goes. The more you contribute to your site, the better results you may get out of your site. So that's just a fact.
You have to feed good content all the time.
Yeah, so that's where a lot of developers have a maintenance plan, or they just kind of this is part of an SEO function. Hey, part of this SEO stuff, we also write blogs on your behalf, to post X, Y, and Z, and so on. And then just so you guys know, blogs or articles are so imperative. I would put that on Facebook. I would put that on Google My Business. I'd put it on every directory, anything that I can do just to show whoever sees it, the Google bots, right? That, hey, guess what? I know a little bit about it. So why don't you rank me when someone does a search? And that's what it is. It's to be ranked. So whenever you're doing, that's why you should always backlink to your website or your homepage or your contact form, because you never know where it's going to show up.
Yep.
So very imperative.
Thanks, Ray. Great information. Hey, my friend. Hopefully you got some good technical knowledge, and also not only technical, how to write a blog in general knowledge. That's very, very good tips. Ray just gave it to us. So thanks for joining in. See you guys next Thursday at 11 o'clock right here on live. Till then, let's rock.